Hi again guys, and welcome back to another Big Al Devlin and another video within my martial arts series. We're still on the talk videos, nothing too practical at the moment, but it gives you a little brief idea on what I've done in the past, what I'm currently doing, and obviously what I would love to learn in the future. Now, you've just heard from me, if you're watching it in order that is, regards the martial arts that I've learned over my life. However, there are martial arts that I'm particularly interested in learning but have little, if not zero, experience of. The reason that I would want to learn them, well, first of all, when I do a martial art, I like a martial art that has functionality. So I'm not doing the martial art to, or my primary reason for doing the martial art is not to increase my flexibility, strength, fitness, cardio, or just the social side of it, or anything along those lines. I have my weightlifting for that, and I like a purpose, a very specific focus to do something. And my martial art, the reason I like to to learn a new martial art, is to develop my skills as a sort of MMA, become more of an MMA fighter, mixed martial artist. I like it to be functional in the street for self-defense. If that's some people will comment on here going, oh, that's a bad thing and all that, but let's face it, that's the reason why martial arts exist. They were used, some of the older ones were used in the battlefield, others have just been used primarily to give you self-defense, and then they've been turned into sports later on. But they had a function in their origins and in their creation, and I like I like the martial arts that are very much still rooted in their true functionality, and that is to defend someone who's attacking you. Now, I would never use a martial art to hurt someone because I'm a bully. Okay, when I first learned martial arts, I was questioned by my teacher and made sure that I wasn't basically a psychopath who would bully people and all the rest of it. I do believe that it's purely for self-defense, but I like my self-defense to work. Okay, and so with that in mind, there are 3 martial arts that I would be really interested in learning. First of all, judo. I have learned a little bit of judo in the past, but when I say I have learned it, I mean I've done a very minimal amount in a sports, just literally as a kid, just randomly as a sort of sports group, as a sort of just basically your parents, instead of finding a babysitter, they send you to a sports camp during the summer's holiday just to, keep you busy and allow them to work because they're working and they can't look after you because they haven't got the time during the day. But that's sort of how I learned it. So I've done a few weeks here and there as a young child of judo, but very minimal. However, my experience with judo is I liked it. I thought it was fantastic. Now, judo for me is not something I would learn for the groundwork of judo. That's what I'm least interested part of the judo. I'll learn it, maybe just so I got a basic understanding, just like I have a basic understanding of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu already. It's no harm having it, but that, for some reason, groundwork like that does not hold interest. But what I do like are the judo throws. I think judo throws are deadly. I think they are horrendous, and if you can learn a judo throw, one, you don't need strength to throw someone. If you know judo, you can put a big guy down being a little guy, and me being a big guy, it's particularly devastating. I think judo throws are fantastic, and that's the reason why I want to learn a little bit of judo. I certainly want to learn the judo throws and expand upon them, because I love martial arts that have techniques that use your enemy's weight or whatever against them. I just think I just love it. I think it's a form of beauty in many respects. Okay, so judo is definitely something I would like to learn, specifically judo throws. I'm not interested in learning judo groundwork. However, there are 2 other martial arts that are a little rarer than judo that I would love to learn. Pankration. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, guys, forgive me. But pankration is, I suppose it's what Greco-Roman wrestling is essentially rooted in. Pankration was the martial art that the ancient Greeks used in warfare, essentially, and it was introduced, I think, in the 33rd Olympics. So literally the 33rd Olympics ever to happen. So we're talking sort of BC, I think it is at this point, if not just a little bit after AD. The Greeks, ancient Greeks, they are an old culture, right? But it was their martial art that allowed them to defend themselves on the battlefield when their sword broke, or they lost their spear, or something along those lines, or when they're just simply too close to use their weapon. They would use their hands. and they were deadly. And to the point, another little brief history lesson for you guys, I hope it doesn't bore you, but it's the point where the military cut, that is short hair, was introduced by the Romans, the Roman Empire. It was introduced because against the Greeks, pankration is a very brutal martial art. People died in the Olympics doing pankration. It was there to kill your opponent. It wasn't there to mess around. It was there to take you down. It was literally martial warfare based martial art. And what they would do is they'd grab the hair, they'd grab whatever they could get hold of and drag you down and then kill you on the ground, or, you know, submit you, or break your arm, or choke you out. Whatever they could do, they would do. And it's incredibly brutal. There's obviously not many practitioners of it now. If they are, most of them, they're more Greco-Roman wrestlers and stuff. I don't even know if there's any real traditional pankration guys out there. But it was something I would love to at least learn a little bit of, you know, from a genuine teacher. I think, not because of its brutality, but also because of its brutality, so I don't want to hurt people, but it's nice to be able to just bang, know to do this, to manipulate your joints in this way. It involved boxing, wrestling, and kicking, essentially, and submission work and choke work, essentially. And I would just love to learn that martial art, again, because of the throws more than anything. If you can take someone who's armed, essentially what you can consider what this was. You've got a Roman legionnaire in front of you, or a Persian Empire person, or whatever, with a sword, and you've got nothing in your hands, and you take them down and kill them, despite the fact they're armoured and they have weapons, and you can still take them down with your bare hands. I think that's amazing. I would just love to learn that, because I just think it's potentially quite a, you know, it's essentially, it's what a martial art is all about. The other martial art that I would love to learn, and there are practitioners of this, especially in sort of Northern Europe, in Scandinavia, that it originates, is Glima. Glima is a Scandinavian martial art that was used by the Vikings. And, well, the Vikings, they knew what they were doing, and I've got Viking heritage, so I love to honour my ancestors in that sense by learning what my ancestors would have fought using. And Glima translates as flash, whereas pankration is all force, is what it sort of literally translates into. So pankration is about hitting you with a lot of force and taking down quick, you know, very, very suddenly. Glima is flash or glimpse, is what it translates to. Again, it's about taking your opponent out as quickly as possible. It's an efficient martial art, and that's why I want to learn these. It's what I look for in a martial art, is that it's efficient. It's not fancy, and it does all this, and takes you down in like 50 blows, but it does it so fancy, and you can do spinning back kicks and all that. That does not interest me. I'm not an acrobat, I'm not a ballerina, and I from my experience on the street, doing spinning back kicks and that, it's only going to get you knocked out, not the person you're doing the spinning back kick to, because as soon as you turn your back to the opponent, you're fucked. Okay, because I know someone did that to me. I'd grab him and I'd slam him into the fucking wall. I don't give a shit, you know what I mean? So, but what I'm trying to say is that these are martial arts that were not only created for, but perfected within combat. So they're not going to have any of that fancy shit that I don't agree with. These are about taking your opponent down as quickly and as effectively and as efficiently on your energy levels as possible, because you're not going to do it to one opponent, you've got to do it to the next and the next and the next, and you've got to do this for however long the battle would have you know, continued for. Now, Glima is a self-defense system that has throws, blows, kicks, chokes, locks, pain techniques, and weapon techniques. Now, the weapon techniques I'm not as interested in, because, you know, that who the hell walks around with a sword or an axe these days, or carries a shield? It's not. I would learn it from a historical perspective, but it would be the last thing on my sort of list of things. And its most common the things that it's most similar to it in today's martial arts system is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Sambo from Brazil, I think that is, isn't it, if I remember correctly. So if you put those two together, and you've got a sort of pseudo Glima martial art. So they're the martial arts that I would love to learn: Judo, or specifically Judo throws, pankration and Glima. And for the fun of it, I would love to do sumo. I would just love it, but that was just for fun. I admire sumo wrestlers. I think they're fantastic, but there's no real constructive reason I can give you why I would want to learn that. It's just I want to learn. I would just love to. I sort of been born in Japan and being 20 stone heavier with a big belly. Well, perhaps I'm a little all the way towards getting a big belly, but I'll leave it there. I am waffling, guys. I will see you soon with some other good videos, I hope, or I hope you like them anyway. Nice one. Thank you.